South Africa. I'm very privileged to have a very, very great live band with me tonight. It is a band from Cape Town. They are called MARENE. And if you haven't seen them live yet, you're missing out. I'm very privileged to have Ozzy and Tyler with me. Guys, how are you doing?
Very good, and you?
We're doing good, man.
Guys, what a week for South Africa, right? It's been the SAMA nominations. It's the SAMA Awards this weekend. They've announced KISS last week. It's a great time in South Africa. I was fortunate enough to see you guys at Winterfest recently. Blown away by what I saw there live. And that led me to want to chat to you guys and find out more about MARENE. And to that end, guys, start us off. How did you start MARENE?
Well, what happened was we had a band going for a while beforehand, but it wasn't until I met Ozzy over here. His band beat my band in Battle of the Bands, and we decided to have a drink at the bar. And once we were there, we realized that we connected, and something struck a chord with the fact that we wanted to create a band that we had never seen live before. And that band ultimately became what is MARENE now, which is ultimately the most ultimate experience live possible. It is guns blazing, all-out war on your senses.
I like that. So if you can't beat them, join them. So you join forces. And what would you say your music is all about?
Our music is about having a good time. It's about being in the moment, living in the moment, and believing that you can do whatever you set your mind to.
Our music is about anything and everything that you need it to be.
Guys, that's obviously quite a powerful statement, because we know today that everything is about live entertainment. People are aspiring to be taken away from their difficult lives, right? So we mentioned Winterfest earlier, right? So take me back to Winterfest and that whole show that you played. What made that so special?
Sure. Well, MARENE was the wild card band on that bill. So of course we went in there knowing that we were going to have to go over the top in order to win over the crowd. Because first of all, we knew that our genre of music wasn't going to be the highlight of the evening, and yet it landed up being that, And that's why we went in with the biggest show that we could put on. We went in there taking artillery to a knife fight. We went in there, bringing more artillery than most third world countries. And, we were really surprised by the way that we were welcomed by the crowd. They really did welcome us with open arms. And it was fantastic. And it was really awesome, building a rapport with them over the night, over that 50 minutes that we played, building, a really nice connection with them. But that by the end, they were singing along to all of our songs that we wrote, in our bedrooms at home, were actually being sung by an audience that size. And it was the most amazing thing because of the amount of impact, that we maybe put in their lives, and we showed them, what is possible with a live show.
I was impressed by the fact that you could get people to come outside and inside, which was something I enjoyed seeing. Immediately people started calling each other and they started filling the room. And for an early slot, at one point, I believe the entire room was full to capacity. And that was special to see.
That's correct.
Yeah, it was awesome. What happened was we had an intro track which played before we came on. And then while that track was playing, we actually had Nate run outside and say, "Hey guys, come in, this is going to be something really special."
Yeah, so big ups to him.
Yeah, so when they came into the show, first of all, the first thing they saw were the giant LED panels lit up. Second of all, they saw 5 different people on stage dressed in multiple colors and outfits with makeup on. All right, and the third thing they saw were the giant smoke geysers go up.
So there was a bit of mystery as to what they would expect.
And a little bit of suspense. And as soon as the first note kicked in and we turned around and we started our choreography, all hell broke loose and they were in for a wild ride.
And as a photographer, guys, I can't actually tell you how refreshing that is to see a spectacle of that nature. Like you said, it was smoke machines, it was lasers, it was LEDs, it was everything. The choreography. I felt like I was at a stadium show crammed into a small venue, and I was getting value for every rand. It was amazing. And the photos that came out of that obviously is also refreshing, because it was just color and it was exciting and it was fresh. I really had to applaud you guys for that. It was great. So what do you want everybody that comes to see MARENE to leave like feeling?
Exhausted!
Guys, I believe you succeeded in that objective, because people were exhausted, and early in the night they were already tired. You did a great job on that one.
Yeah, well, anyone can rent a smoke machine for the night, but ultimately, what we do is we don't rely on the smoke machine for the effect. We are the effect. The smoke machine, well, that just adds a little bit of flavor.
It's just the cherry on the top of the very huge cake.
So guys, tell me about the members in Marine. Who are they all?
So there are 5 of us. There's Robin on keys, there's Shane on drums, there's Dara on guitar, there's Tyler on vocals and guitar, and there's myself on bass and vocals.
Ultimately, I'm the Toastmaster General of the immoral majority. I'm here to make sure that the audience is guided through the journey that is, of course, our show. Ozzy being the bassist and second vocalist in the band also, has his way. And the reason why we do 2 vocalists and sometimes 3 or 4 in terms of who's singing different songs is, again, is supposed to be about sort of everyone having their own individual personality. And not only that, is that you know how boring it gets to go watch a band and this vocalist always sounds the same. Well, the nice thing about having different members that all write their own different songs, and not only that, but also sing their own different songs, is the fact that you're not going to get bored because every song comes from a different direction, and everyone sounds different and has their own way of singing and sort of, creating a song.
So the audience can have their favorite member, like we all have a different colors. Robin's yellow, Shane's green, Dad is blue, Tyler's
purple.
I'm red. And it translates from our personalities really well. So Dad is the very theatrical guy. He's an actor, so it shows really well in his performance. Tyler's
Well, I'd say I'm sort of like flamboyant, and so purple was a great color because it's kind of a mix between what Ozzy does and also a mix between what Dara does.
I always thought of Tyler as like this fabulous emperor. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm the show.
I'm so good. I'm so amazing.
And then we've got Robin. She's like
just like
the diva.
The diva, the sassy.
She's the diva. She's sassy.
Yeah.
She's here and she's there.
Switched on. She's bright.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So she of course took yellow, being the brightest color, being the most eccentric and out there color, and then Shane took green because green is mean. And that's
he's a mean drumming machine.
There we go.
What compels you to put on this level of effort in a live show? A lot of bands are happy to just kind of let the music speak for itself, but you come with the whole package.
Well, you see, when you buy a ticket to a show, you expect something good, and we want to give you something
great. But when we say we go out there, we play everything live, and we sing everything live.
We play every show like it's Madison Square Garden.
We play every show like it's Madison Square Garden. We go out there and we put on the biggest show possible, all right? And we don't sit and hide behind excuses of, no, I'm looking at my guitar because I really have stage fright, but actually it's because I'm a musician. We don't.
Like, I want to be artsy, so I got to be introverted on stage.
There we go. That's never been me, that's never been Ozzy, and that's why we click so much. And in making a bold statement like the fact that if you can't play and dance at the same time, it's probably because you can't play. It's
like what I used to do. I used to be in the band before Tyler. I used to crawl on the floor, roll on the floor, and still manage to play.
I used to play in a school band, and everyone looked like they were dying on stage, and I was the only one having fun. Right, and everyone used to laugh at me from, in the band. They used to look and laugh at me and being like, "Oh, look at this guy putting so much effort in. He looks like he's having fun." And that never made sense to me. So
I resonate with that as well because I was in a jazz band for many years, and the musicians were fantastic. They were great, but you just stand there at the end of the day, like you pay 500 rand just to go watch some best guitarists in the world, and then you just stand there in the middle of the stage.
I
could have just listened to the CD at home.
That's the thing.
And also, like, the big thing is when you're a musician, you compete for people's wallets because you're competing with Netflix, with video games, So there's something else that you have to offer them.
If you want to go out and listen to the song exactly how it was played on the album, well then just go out and plug your earphones in. But if you're ready to go the ride of your life out there at a live show and you want to experience something more than just the music, well then Marene is your band.
If you want to physically feel the music pumping inside of your chest.
Yeah, well that's the reason why we do the moves, is because it's almost like it's an energetic sort of build-up, and we have to somehow channel all this energy that has been created over the entirety of the song. That right at the end, when we do the choreography moves, or when we start off with the choreography moves in the beginning of the song, We want the audience to feel like all of this energy is channeling out towards them through our larger-than-life show.
So guys, are you excited for KISS? I mean, let's be honest, when this was announced last week, I may just little soiled myself, right? I think this is one of those bands that, as long as I can remember, have appealed to me, and I have just absolutely, I love all their songs. And when this was announced, it was one of those childhood dreams of mine that I've always wanted. I've never had the opportunity to see them. So being in a band that is so, in line and in tune with the kind of values that a KISS does, you guys must be over the moon, right?
Yes, of course. I mean, one of the biggest things for me was when I was 7 years old and I opened up my first KISS CD. And, I plugged it in, I put it on track number 4, which was Harder Than Hell. And from then on, I was a part of the KISS army.
Yeah, for me, I remember watching I Was Made for Loving You on VH1 and thinking, wow, this is such a great song. And that's where it began for me.
So really with KISS, I only really discovered the whole show aspect when I was about 13 years old. I loved the music, but as soon as I discovered the whole show aspect through YouTube, it totally blew me away by the fact that they put so much effort into entertainment. It was, $1 ticket, $100 show. These days, it's a 800 Rand ticket, but you're going to get an 80,000 Rand show, right? So it really blew me away, and it really inspired me to want to put on that type of show, to not just be music, but be entertainment. Because ultimately, that's what we do. We are part of the entertainment business. We are entertainers, and it's our job to make sure that when you walk in through that door and you hand us that money, that we give you one hell of a bang for that buck.
So guys, you mentioned like choreography and big, large stage shows, like what KISS does, right? Now, again, I saw that in you guys. So, and I saw lots of color, I saw lots of movement. That's obviously something you put a lot of emphasis in, right?
So the movement is there it's for the person at the back of the room. The colors work well with it as well, because when you're at the back of the room, sometimes it can feel a bit hard to be, in the moment as compared to someone who's right at the front of the stage. So we want, and we do that because we want the person at the back of the room to feel connected as well. They can watch, oh, my favorite member is this side, now it's over here, and that's why we do the moves as well.
Yeah, the colors really help each member of the band feel like they have an own individuality on the stage. So it's not just a case of this is Marene and the lead singer is in the middle of the stage, because you'll even find that on a Marene stage there is no person in the middle, all right? Because everybody's equal, everybody has their own character and everybody has their place to shine. And so the microphones are off to the side, because ultimately the biggest part of our show and the center of our show is the choreography and the show, and that's what really happens in the middle. And ultimately, we always say that a show and a stage is like a painting, all right? In an art gallery, if you're looking at a painting, it's only good for so long before you move on to the next thing. But what if the painting keeps moving and changing, all right? Then it's more interesting. Then you feel more engaged, and then you want to keep watching that painting because you never know what's going to happen next. The same thing with Marene show. You never know.
Guys, that's phenomenal. I love what you're saying there. So it almost just struck me that, there's almost not a better band to almost open for KISS in South Africa. I dare say that it would be a great match, right?
Well, I think there's KISS DNA in every show, but we definitely are from the same blood group. I've seen a lot of buzz online around us doing the opening for them, and I really think it's a great idea. What do you think?
It's going to be fantastic.
Awesome, guys. So for those people that are really needing to see more Marene and want to know about you, what have you currently got going on in terms of your videos and singles, and what can we expect in the near future?
So right now on all the major digital platforms, we are available. Our 2 singles are out, Time Machine and Thrills in the Night.
That's correct. And on YouTube, you can also go and watch some of our older members jumping around doing Thrills in the Night.
Great. And what can we expect going into 2020, guys? Album in the works, or what's your plans?
So we're currently in the studio. I believe we're going in to finish up the vocals from the 20th. So coming out early in 2020, we should have our amazing album with some bonus tracks on it, which will be live tracks that we recorded at Winterfest. Which means that if you were at Winterfest, you're going to hear yourself on our album.
Guys, and for people that want to follow you on websites and socials, where can they find you at?
Our website is marene.rocks.
And we're on all major social media platforms.
Hey guys, thanks so much for the time to chat to me. I really appreciate it. I wish you all the best with your album recording. Can't wait to hear it. And I can't wait to see you guys anywhere playing soon, hopefully very soon. And geez, I really, really hope that bit for Kiss comes through. That'll be quite something, eh guys? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone out there who supports us, follows us, and comments and likes and everything. We really appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts.
Marine loves you.